Hi, this is Dr. Tracy Fisher with your A to Z Plea podcast, where words truly do matter. Today's word is idiosyncrasy. Again, today's word, episode 9, is idiosyncrasy. There were quite a few words suggested for this episode 9, and I really like the suggestion of idiosyncrasy, although there are abundant I words to choose from. Some of those words were impervious, incisive, inconsequential, and some other great I words. But for today's episode 9, we're going to look at idiosyncrasy. It's a great word. But before we get started, I do have something else for you. My first shout out. I'm so excited. This is great. I really appreciate the fact that you are subscribing and following this video blog / podcast. And the shout out goes to Miss Bella. Bella, thank you so much for your wonderful comments and for subscribing and following. I really appreciate your request for a shout out. And thank you so much for following again and subscribing. And to all of you who are subscribing and following and commenting at this point, both good and bad, all the comments help. Everything helps with the development of this podcast. So today's word is idiosyncrasy. So let's get right to it. Let's get to it. Webster's dictionary defines idiosyncrasy, which is a noun. It is 6 syllables long, as a characteristic or an eccentricity. That's a great word too. That's an E word, of course. But idiosyncrasy is kind of challenging to capture in terms of a definition. I've been thinking about it. And it kind of has some connection with the words habit, tell, and tick. But not exactly. So I wanted to give you an example of something that you could grasp that might give you a better idea of how to define idiosyncrasy. And I thought about, I love dessert. Everybody knows who knows me, knows I love ice cream. That is there. Yes, ice cream is it. So let's say that you like to have your ice cream and your cake a certain way, meaning that you eat them a certain way. That can be idiosyncratic. For example, what if you don't like your ice cream and your cake touching before you eat it? That's an idiosyncrasy. What if you don't like to eat your cake and the frosting / icing at the same time? You like to eat the icing first and then the cake, or the reverse. You like to eat the cake first, then the icing. That too is an idiosyncrasy. But it doesn't have to necessarily be associated with food. I'm trying to just give you an idea of what this is. So I'll give you one of my own. I have an idiosyncratic behavior that most of you have seen, and you can probably pick up on pretty quickly. I can move one of my eyebrows, this one, if I really think about it. The one on this side. This side is random. It does what it wants when it wants to, but I can do that. That is an idiosyncrasy as well. It can be also looked at as a tell, which is a habit or behavior that you have that is unique to you. So I want to say that if you are interested in using the word idiosyncrasy or putting it in your personal library, do that. Try to put it in your conversation this week. Try to use the word idiosyncrasy. It's a great one to capture what is a behavior or a tell or a behavior. Well, that's what I just said. A behavior that gives an idea about you or describes your friend. You can say, hey, you do this a lot. And they may be very, very surprised to hear that is what they do idiosyncratically. So we close out this episode by asking you to please continue subscribing. Please continue commenting. All comments are appreciated. Keep the words that you submit to me G-rated. We're looking at words that are MNO. That's where we kind of are, sort of at this point. So keep following, and I appreciate it. And if you want a shout out, like Miss Bella, just let me know. Just put it in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you again.